Hostess coaching. It's not just a vital, essential piece of your business to help make sure you make the most of every party and event. It's also a vital tool for building a stronger business, deeper connections with those you serve, as well as building your team as a whole. Hi, my name is Mike Klaus with Coach Klaus LLC, and I've had the pleasure of working with many leaders within the direct selling world over the last 7 years. And when we talk about hostess coaching and we really dig underneath what questions individuals have and where they want to grow and build, what I find is most often it's less about the tactics and what are the steps or what the checklist is, because you can Google those kind of steps and get all kinds of ideas from a lot of different places, a lot of different companies, and really kind of pick and choose and put together a checklist of tactics very easily. But probably the most essential and important part is the delivery and that conversation with the hostess, right? Well, duh, Mike, I knew that. Well, the things I want to talk about or mention and get you thinking about, if you haven't already, is that I believe it's called hostess coaching for a specific purpose. Not hostess telling or hostess teaching, but it's called hostess coaching because a coach approach to hostess coaching really is the best approach. What do I mean by that? Well, if you've ever been through coaching, been coached, or done coaching yourself, you realize that coaching is less about telling, and it's much more about drawing out of people more about who they are, what it is they really truly want, and how to make that happen on their own, to discover those things, to put them in an order that makes sense to them, and then to figure out what those action steps are to make it happen. You're helping teach them to fish rather than just give them a fish, right? So in hostess coaching, it's really the same thing. We're the ones that know the elements, the tactics, the pieces that are going to help them have the greatest party. But if we can do our hostess coaching and have that conversation in a way where we're drawing more of that out of them and helping them see what it is and how impactful it can be, and do it in a way that taps into the emotion of it all, we're really doing many things. We're helping them take ownership right off the bat because they're coming up with a lot of the ideas. We're telling less, they're talking more, and they have more ownership. They're more excited about it, which means they're more likely to carry through with the things they need to do as a good hostess. And in the middle of it all, we're developing a much tighter relationship with that hostess because we're getting to know who they are, and they're thinking, wow, this person really cares about me. They're asking all these questions. They want to know how to make this event the best for me. They know you care about them, which helps develop that relationship that goes far beyond that party or the event. So hopefully that makes sense, and I didn't get so excited I spoke through it too quickly. You may be asking, so how do I do that? Well, it's really as simple, not always as easy. It takes practice to get better and better, but it's really as simple as taking those elements of hostess coaching from your checklist and turning as many of those things into not just open-ended questions, but questions that tap into the emotion and excitement around it all at the same time. For instance, I know one of the first things many do when they set up a party or event with a hostess is you all send out hostess packets for that party or that event. That follow-up call, when they receive that hostess packet, hopefully you're making a follow-up call, and in that follow-up call, of course, saying hello, little small talk to get things started. And then it can be as simple as asking, so you received the packet, have you had a chance to look over it? And then if they have, you can ask them, so what made sense? What did you read or look over in the packet that just said, yep, got that? Get them to answer that first. That's real easy, especially if they did take a look at it, and it helps maybe build a little bit of confidence. If they haven't looked at it, then you know you may have to switch gears a little bit and step them through each piece. This next piece then is, well, what didn't make sense? What left questions for you? And then right away you can tell, is there a piece that if I start talking here, they're gonna be much more engaged because it's something they look at and it didn't make a ton of sense. So if I start sharing with them about it, they're gonna be much more engaged in that conversation. So it can be simply as simple and as easy in that first call as doing something like that. Now, when you get to pieces of it, the checklist, let's say, for instance, we're going to talk about the attendee list and who we're going to invite. Nothing wrong with saying, well, who would you like at the party, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. Not saying that's wrong. But if we can approach it from more of a coaching standpoint, where we're drawing out more of who they are, what they want, and how to make that happen, we might ask the question in a way that says, can't wait to have this party, to have some fun with you and some of your friends. Tell me, when you go out or when you do anything with other people, who are the people that first come to mind as the individuals you want there, because you know they're going to make it a great time? Great place to start, because a lot of times for a lot of people that's really easy to answer. Oh, I gotta have Kelly there, or I've gotta have Teresa there. They are a hoot. They're always so much fun, and they get everybody talking. So right there, we can start that list with those people that they want at every gathering they have, because they're just fun people. As they come to the end of that list, the next question can be, well, let's stop and think about that. We've already got the people that we know that are gonna help make it a fun party. Who are those people that you know, but you'd really like to know a little bit better? Someone that you've met, an acquaintance, someone you've spoken to a few different times, but you would just like to know them more, and an event like this might help that happen. Well, now we're thinking about people we might not have thought of otherwise, and there's a whole nother list of people that might fit that. Then there's always a question like, now let's think about other people who, like yourself, are busy. They wear a lot of different hats and titles in their house. Who are those people that maybe we haven't already thought of that you know could really use a night away just for themselves, an hour and a half or so, to just kind of unwind and meet new people? So if you see, it's kind of taking some of those simple questions we have and still keeping them simple, but now we're pulling it out. We're asking in a way that pulls out the emotion of the individual, some things that are really going to resonate with them. As well as we're starting to help them think about who will be there, and we're starting to building an idea of the type of people that will be at this party. So of course there are a lot of other questions and a lot of other pieces of that checklist, but hopefully you see what I mean about turning it into a coaching conversation that helps connect emotion. We're learning more about that hostess in the process, who she is, what it is she wants, and what kinds of things mean a lot to her, because you'll be able to tell in her responses what those things will be. And we're building relationships and connections that will go far beyond the party, and that will carry on in those follow-up calls after the party, allowing us to share the opportunity in a way that's really organic, because we've gotten to know that person in a way that we can share in a way that makes sense. And just continuing to serve them over and over again, and to just build that relationship and that customer loyalty. So hopefully this helps. Again, I know the tactics you can find anywhere, but really approaching it from a coaching standpoint and asking those open-ended questions that connect emotion, help you get to know that individual, what it is they want, and help them come up with their own ideas on how to make it happen, can really do a lot, not just for your party, but for your business in general.